See? Of the Ginyu Force!
What's going on, guys? MariK here, back with another Dragon Ball Super deck profile. This weekend we got a chance to play around with more of the support from Clash of Fates, and one of the decks that I was the most interested in playing was the Ginyu Force. I always liked the Ginyu Force, and I wish they would have got more support, but it is nice to see that they got some, since they haven't gotten any since the very first set, although I wish that you could play them together a bit better. It's really annoying that they restricted the new red Ginyu Force. Anyway, so I didn't want to do a typical red Frieza leader with this, and one of the leaders that I thought would be an interesting take on this deck would be Galactic Battle Set 1 Frieza. His activate main says, once per turn, place one of your Frieza's army battle cards in a drop area, choose up to one of your energy, switch it to active mode, and then draw one card. So, it's really cool because you can kind of extend your plays a little bit. Sure, it's only one card on the front side, but you do get to draw a card to replace it. And that one energy can leave you, stuff for defenses, or just, anything you might need. Or if you had another one-drop you could play, just kind of to further your own agenda. Now, he is a draw 2 on Awaken, which does suck because having that extra 2 energy would be really nice. But on the Awaken side, we have Ultimate Form Golden Frieza. And his Activate main actually gives you 2 energy that you get to switch back to active mode. So, in a way, he kind of has that Awaken and, restand 2 energy. You do have to work a little bit to get that 2 energy, but still pretty nice, and of course he draws a card when he attacks. I thought this leader would be really fun to use with this deck, and I was not mistaken. It was just a really interesting way to be able to play like a red-yellow deck. So first up for our one-drops, we have the loser of the Ginyu Force Goldo.
Swag, come on!
He's a 1-cost, 2,000 power with blocker, and when you play this card, if your leader card is Frieza's army, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 2 or less and switch it to rest mode. So this gives you some free early quick kills, especially if they're playing stuff that they want to keep on the board and leave in active mode, and then you can just kill it by switching it to rest mode and run it over. Probably with your leader if you're playing it on turn 1, but if you play it later in the game, then your bigger guys can run it over. Up next, we have another one-drop. It's Frieza biding his time. He's a 1-cost, 5,000 power that says when you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 2 or less, ignoring barrier, and switch it to rest mode. So while the Goldo has blocker, if you decided to keep him on the board, if they have a 1 or 2 cost that has barrier, like the new 2-drop blue Goku feature rare, Frieza doesn't care, and he'll switch it to rest mode and let you kill it. Also, both are Frieza's army, so they're both targets for the leader to be able to pop and, restand your energy. Then we have a card that is one of the driving forces of this deck. It is Frieza's Spaceship. It is a 2-cost field card that says, at the end of your turn, choose up to one red Frieza's army card with an energy cost of 2 from your hand and play it. If you played a card with this skill, draw one card. So, ideally, you're going to play the Ginyu Force cards, and you're going to draw a card to replace the card from your hand that you played, and you're going to get the Ginyu Force's effect. So, really nice. It does suck that you don't get anything upon playing it, for it being a 2-cost, but that is going to be your ideal turn 2 play. Up next, we have Strike Force Goldo. He's a 2-cost, 10,000 power with barrier. Says when you play this card from your hand, if all your battle cards are red and no other color, look it up to the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to one red Ginyu Force card with energy cost of 2 other than Goldo, and play it. Then place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. So you have to have only red battle cards on the board to activate his ability. The good thing about running this leader is not only can you run some yellow in the deck, but you can also get rid of those yellow cards via Frieza's ability before you drop a Goldo or any of the other Ginyu Force, and then voila, you have nothing but red battle cards on the board. Then we also run my personal favorite member of the Ginyu Force, Strike Force Birder. He has the exact same auto as Strike Force Goldo, except he has crit, which is really nice when you get him powered up and you start swinging with like giant birders that have critical. Really, really nice. The art is a little weird as it looks like his legs are bending upward in an awkward position, but you know. Then we've got 4 Strike Force Raccoon.
I'm Raccoon!
Still has the same auto, except instead of barrier or critical, he has double strike. It's really cool that all the Ginyu Force have, you know, their own little different keyword abilities, making them all viable in certain situations. Then we have the captain of the Ginyu squad, and probably one of my favorite cards in the entire deck is Body Change Ginyu.
Captain Ginyu!
This is a 3-cost, 15,000 power that says, when you play this card, choose all Ginyu Force cards in your battle area, and they gain plus 10,000 power for the duration of the turn. So, like that Raccoon and that Birder, they're going to be 20,000 double strike, 20,000 crit. Like, you're giving them a big power boost for them to do some massive damage. What's really nice about Ginyu is he gets the boost himself, so he comes in at 25. You get to swing with him at a battle card or your opponent's leader. Then you can activate his main, which says, place this card in its owner's drop area. Play this card in your opponent's battle area from its owner's drop area with its skills negated. Then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 20,000 power or less other than Ginyu, gain control of it, and switch it to active mode. So, essentially it gives you another attack, and it switches one of the opponent's cards that could actually do some damage to you with a vanilla 1500 beater. Really dope way to get rid of some of your opponent's battle cards. The only downside, they have to be 20,000 or less, but I never really had a problem with not being able to take anything during the tournament, so that was a really good thing for us. Then up next, we've got a bit of nostalgia for you Ginyu Force fans. We ran 4 Ginyu, the Reliable Captain. He's a 3-cost, 15,000 with the permanent says all Ginyu in your hand gain evolve for 3 yellow and 2 other energy. But we don't care about that. The ability we do care about is the auto that says when you play this card, choose any number of Ginyu Force from your hand other than Ginyu and play them. Now, the thing with this, the way the new Ginyu Force stuff works is you can't have anything other than red battle cards in order to resolve their abilities. So this Ginyu is going to get in the way of that. Ideally, the strategy with this Ginyu is to play the Ginyu and then, you know, start dropping Ginyu Force members. Now, it's more about swarming the board than it is anything else. Now, the cool part is you can do this, and then with the leader's ability, you can actually switch to your energy to active mode. You've got multiple targets you can tribute, and then you play Body Change Ginyu. Body Change comes in, gives all of these, including himself, 10,000 power. So you've now got 20,000 double strike, 20,000 crit, 20,000 barrier, 25,000, and 25,000 this Ginyu, who's also going to take something from your opponent. That's a lot of attacks. That's a lot of damage coming through. Now, granted, it's not going to happen every time, but it was cheeky enough that it did work at least once during the tournament. And it paid off. Like, you just drop your entire hand if you got multiple Ginyu Force, and sure, you're not going to get their abilities, but if you can pull off the double Ginyu, like, you're going in hard, and they're either wasting all their resources or they're just dead. Then up next, we ran 3 Surprise Attack Frieza. He's a 4-cost 15,000 with critical that says, activate this skill when your opponent's battle card is KO'd. If Surprise Attack Frieza is not in play in your battle area, you may play this card from your hand. So, with this deck, especially with the 1-drop Goldo and the 1-drop Frieza, you play them, switch something to rest mode, your leader kills it, bam. Surprise Attack Frieza. So, that puts early presence on the board, and having crit early on, especially when your opponent's leader is still at 10k, is really nice, because they're going to have to combo 10k just to prevent that one attack from going through and hitting the critical. And I think early on that's really nice. Late game, it's not as great, but I don't know, just being able to add to the board presence along with some of the Ginyu Force stuff. And again, because he's Frieza's army, you can just use the leader to send him to the drop if you wanted to start playing the red Ginyu Force stuff and triggering their abilities from hand. Then, because we're running a yellow leader, we ran 4 Divine Cry Beerus. He's your yellow sparking super combo for the deck. We also ran 4 soft super combos in the deck with 4 Kaba's Awakening.
I will make you pay!
Now, what sucks is you can't use this card on the leader, but it's a 0 cost activate battle that says choose up to one of your red cards, gains plus 6,000 power for the duration of the turn. So, like, ideally, you're going to use this as extra defense for your Ginyu Force cards. And since this gives 6,000, it's a cheaper, more efficient way to protect them without using your super combos. And if your opponent has to combo extra cards to get up to, you know, say they combo and they go to 15, then you drop a Kaba's Awakening. Now they've wasted a card to combo, and your Ginyu Force is still alive to be able to do more bullshit on the next turn. Still one of the best cards from set 1, and I still think it's one of the most underrated cards from set 1 as well. Then up next we have what I think is one of the most useful cards from Clash of Fates. It's Raccoon Ultra Fighting Bomber. Even if you didn't run the entire Ginyu Force squad, just to have the Raccoon, and then to be able to play Ultra Fighter Bomber, which says, if a Raccoon card is in play in your battle area, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 15,000 power or less, ignoring barrier, and KO it. This was really nice to be able to play against, like, Frieza's, the Frieza swap, because the 3-drop that has barrier is only 15k, and this gets rid of that for 1 energy. So if you can prevent, or at the very least stall your opponent from getting to the 5-cost Frieza swap, then by all means, that card is the card to do it. Then for our counterattack, we ran 2 Vados Assistants.
Are you two done yet?
I expected the deck to be super aggro, which in some ways it was. So we only had 2. Initially we had 4 of these, and we had 4 Spaceship. But I cut this down to 2, I cut Spaceship down to 1 when I decided to put in the Surprise Attack Friezas. Vados Assistants, I chose it because not only would it negate an attack, but then it would also switch one of my Ginyu Force back to active mode, and I wouldn't have to worry about them being targeted for another attack from an opponent. So it was kind of trying to preserve my Ginyu Force cards as long as possible. That way when you do drop the body change Ginyu, give them all the fucking 10k boost, then you can just go harder with more Ginyu Force cards. Then lastly, since our leader is Frieza's army, we ran 4 Cold Bloodlust. One of the best extra cards we have ever gotten in the game. And it goes perfectly with this leader because since you can use his ability to give yourself open energy, you always are going to have energy for Cold Bloodlust. Which is one of the reasons why I wanted to run Red-Yellow. Plus I thought Red-Yellow would be a really fun way to play the deck. I did also have like Frieza's Call in here in one of the initial builds, but some stuff just had to get cut, and unfortunately Frieza's Call was one of them. I was trying to limit the amount of yellow in the deck, because everything in the deck that's yellow only needs 1 energy besides Ginyu the Reliable Captain. In which case I would charge another yellow if I was going to play him, but otherwise most of the deck was red. Most of the stuff you were going to play needed red energy. It does suck that the red Ginyu Force cards all need 2 red energy, as does the Spaceship, so it really limited how much yellow you could run in the deck. With the influx of Broly BR leaders flying around, Shugesh has been a major problem. So the first card in the side deck was arguably going to be Time Control Cronoa. It could have been 4, but with your side deck only limited to 15 cards, I felt like having 4 of a card really was not the best idea. So we only had 3 time control Chronoas in the deck. Then we ran 2 Kami Global Unifier for those decks that go really wide. One of the players that are locals still plays Veggies, so Kami would be a good card against him. There was another guy that we played who was playing Machine Mutants that went really wide that I could have sided Kami for, but Ginyu Force also goes wide, and we didn't really have that hard a time KOing all of his stuff. The only thing we really had to worry about there was making sure we bloodlusted the 3-drop Rildo and the 3-drop Machine Mutant that's part of the Union shit. Then again, with Yellow running amok with the Broly leader, we side decked 2 Haru Haru Attacker Majin. Really good card, I feel like, for side decks. Just because being able to essentially play her for free, but also get an extra energy back, can really open up some plays that you normally wouldn't be able to do, just because of that 1 extra energy. Then, in case we played against a deck that was really counter heavy, like Janemba for example, then we ran 2 Bad Ring Laser. Probably needed to be 3 Bad Ring Lasers, but I have 4, but I really couldn't figure out room for more than 2. Then we had 3 Crusher Balls for those cards that we really don't want to be able to attack or do anything. Putting them in rest mode versus negating their skills with Bloodlust. It all depends on what the card was, but also if there really wasn't anything to Bloodlust, Crusher Ball was in there as a card that I could just easily side deck out without really having to think about what to take out. Same thing goes for the 3 Flying Nimbus that we played, which when I sided them, I didn't see any of them, so, you know, they didn't really do much good. But having Nimbus to be able to stop an opponent from attacking and swarming, or just attacking multiple times with a card like if they're running the Shenron deck, then that helps as well, you know, being able to lock down their turn. Well, that's going to do it for this deck profile. This deck was a lot of fun to play. I really do enjoy playing the new Ginyu Force stuff. Red-Yellow is really hard to do, since the red cards all have a specified 2 red energy cost. So we might try and run something a little bit different, might go a little lighter on the yellow, or might even not run the yellow at all. But I felt like the yellow went well with this leader, and it was a good throwback to being able to run this leader as well. So if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys like Golden Frieza, I know some of you still rock that leader. If you guys are enjoying the new Ginyu Force support as well, like I have been, make sure you hit that like button down below for us. You know, we appreciate the support. We appreciate all of our subscribers as well. You guys are just fantastic people. We really do appreciate you viewing and enjoying our content, and I look forward to discussing with you guys different builds you might have for Ginyu Force. We've got one we're working on right now that I'm not sure when we're going to get around to playing it, but it should be a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that one as well. With that, we're going to go ahead and get the freak out of here, and we'll see you guys in the next video.